Good day to everyone, and today we will see some concept of slip and frequency for the induction motor, and we will derive the expression, and we will learn some basic things that are very crucial. Okay, so I can say this as slip, frequency, speed, three-phase induction motor. Okay, so this is the topic of this video. Okay, so yeah, so let us see these things. So I hope you know this thing, that slip is denoted by S is given by ns, where ns is the synchronous speed divided by the rotor speed and divided by ns. Okay, so so these are the things. Now okay, so this is the basic formula. So with this formula you can also derive such expressions as ns is equal to ns minus nr, nr is equal to ns 1 minus s. Okay, so this is also one expression. Okay, so that is all about the basic idea of slip. Now let us understand or learn few things about the synchronous speed. See, synchronous speed is given as 120 into f by p. Okay, so that is the whole thing. Okay, now let us see what does this expression means. It is the synchronous speed of what thing and what is the thing. Okay, so what is the principle of the induction motor? That when we supply the three-phase supply to the three-phase winding, which is displaced in phase as well as space by 120 degrees, we get a rotating magnetic field. Okay, so that is the prime objective, that is to produce the rotating magnetic field. We are using three-phase windings which are displaced in space and phase by 120 degrees. Okay, so now what is the meaning of this ns? See, synchronous speed of the field. See, let me write down the statement. Okay, synchronous speed of field produced by any winding is by default with respect to the structure on which that winding is placed, is by default with respect to the structure on which that winding is placed. Okay, so this formula we can use anywhere, because when we change the frequency we can get the different speeds. Okay, so this statement you should always remember, that ns is equal to 120 f by p. Then what we are calculating, this formula gives the synchronous speed of the field produced by any winding. Okay, and it is with respect to the structure on which that winding is placed. See, this is very important in the case of the induction motor, because there will be many questions in which your relative speed concept comes, so you must know the reference. So by default, what is the reference? If you are taking rotor speed in this formula, like if I put the rotor frequency, the rotor current frequency here, fr, okay, 120 fr by p, then what I will get? What is this nr? So nr is what? It is the speed of the field produced by the rotor with respect to the rotor, or you can say that the speed of the rotor with respect to the rotor. Okay, so this is the whole idea. This is what I want to convey by this statement. Okay, now let us see this now one thing. Okay, so now let us take a simple squirrel cage SCIM, that is squirrel cage induction motor. Okay, and we will three-phase, it is a three-phase machine. Okay, so what is the specialty of squirrel cage induction motor? Okay, so I will explain in a small way that, see, this is your rotor, this is your rotor. Okay, squirrel cage means that your rotor is of the bars, okay, in this fashion, and these bars are joined. Okay, so see, these bars are all what? These bars are this is a rotor. Okay, so I should draw it nicely. Okay, see, these are your bars. Okay, and this is your ring. Okay, and these are your bars. These two rings are connected by your bars. Okay, so this is the rotor of the squirrel cage induction motor. Okay, these are all bars and these are all shorted. Okay, so that is, they are forming a closed loop. So that is the main point why we have taken this fashion to form a closed loop. Why we want the closed loop? Because we want the current to flow, and we know that current will only flow when there is a closed loop. Okay, so I will make a separate video of this principle of induction motor. So in this video I will just explain you the relation between the slip and how you see these things, that what is with respect to what. Okay, that relative speed things I want to tell you by this video. Okay, so this is the rotor of the squirrel cage induction motor, and let us say this is your stator. Okay, so this is your stator, and inside a stator this is your rotor. Okay, squirrel cage induction motor construction is somewhat like this. Now in this rotor there is a three-phase winding which is 120-degree displaced in phase as well as in space. Okay, see, winding can only, it is a physical thing, so it can be displaced in space by 120 degrees. So it is 120 degrees displaced in space, and we supply the three-phase current which is 120 degree displaced in phase. Okay, so I hope you know these things. So when you supply such three-phase current to such a winding, three-phase winding, what will happen? A rotating magnetic field will be produced. Okay, so now what is the speed of this rotating magnetic field? Okay, that is produced in these stator windings. Okay, now listen to me carefully and always remember this statement. The statement is crucial. Okay, so what is happening? That you are supplying a three-phase supply to this winding, and you will get a rotating magnetic field. Okay, so that means some flux will be produced by these stator windings. Now we have to find the speed of that flux, and we know that with using this relation we will find that speed with respect to the stator, because on the stator structure this winding is displaced, okay, by this statement. Okay, so are you getting what I am trying to say? So I will write these statements for your clarity. First statement is speed of field produced by stator winding is equal to what? Let us say ns, and it is given by 120 into the frequency of the stator current. Okay, so that is the frequency, because due to that current only and in those windings we will have this flux that will be produced. Okay, 120 fs by p. Okay, so it matters in which orientation the winding is done, so that how many poles are created. Okay, so that is a manufacturing criteria. So that is the speed of the stator field that we have to remember. Stator field. Okay, the speed of stator field with respect to rotor. Okay, that is very important. This is with respect to stator. Okay. Okay. Now what we assume is, let speed of rotor with respect to stator only. We are taking stator as a standard reference frame. With respect to stator, let us say it is NR. Okay. Now see, and it moves in the direction as the same as of stator field. Okay, see what happens in the induction motor. I hope you know that see the field is moving in this direction with the speed of ns. Okay, and this rotor, see these are the poles. Let us say this is a north pole, and let us say there is a rotor, and due to this flux, stator flux, this flux interacts with the rotor winding. Okay, and when it interacts with the rotor winding, the force will be produced by the IL cross V, that is by the Lorentz force. Okay, and this rotor will also try to move, and it will try to move so as to oppose. Okay, so it will try to move in the direction of the rotor only, in the direction of the stator field only. So I am assuming the speed of the rotor with respect to stator as nr, and it is in the same direction as that is the stator, as that of the stator field. Okay, so that is all what I want to say right now. Okay, so I hope it's clear to you. Okay, so now speed of rotor with respect to stator is nr. Okay, in the direction of ns. Okay, so this is the whole idea. Yes. Okay, so this one thing is clear to you. Now now let us say this is a rotor. Okay, and this is your stator. Now I am standing on the rotor. Okay, and I am observing the stator field. Okay, so I will write the speed of stator field with respect to rotor body. Okay, so what I will get, see your stator field is going in this direction. I myself is standing on the rotor, and rotor is moving with nr, so I am also going in this direction. So when I will observe this ns, at what speed I will see that this ns is moving. So I will see that your stator field is moving with speed of ns minus nr. Okay, it's a simple concept of relative speed and common sense. I hope you can visualize this, that you are standing on the rotor and you are observing the stator. Okay, so what you will see, you yourself is standing on a platform which is moving with a speed of nr, and you are observing something which is moving with a speed of ns. So relatively, what you will observe, you will feel like that external thing is moving with a speed of ns minus nr with respect to yourself. Okay, so that is what I am trying to say. So I hope you can visualize these things. So this is the speed of the stator field with respect to rotor body. Okay, now let me write this statement, that now the frequency of induced EMF in rotor. See why there will be induced EMF in rotor. See, for induced EMF by Faraday's law, we need three things. We need the what? We need the magnetic field. Okay, we need the conductor, and we need the relative motion. Okay, that is very important. So see, you have your rotor conductors are what? Squirrel cage. Okay, these are all closed conductors, that is having closed path, and these conductors are facing a field which is moving with the speed ns minus nr with respect to themselves. So there's a relative speed between the relative motion between the conductor and the stator field. Okay, so what does this mean? That's how EMF will be induced in the rotor. Simple concept. So the frequency of the induced EMF in the rotor is what? By the same formula, ns is equal to 120 f by p, I can write as 120 into what is the relative speed that we are observing? Ns minus nr divided by, okay, I have written the wrong formula. It will be p into ns minus nr divided by what? 120. Okay, so I hope you can remember the previous page statement and all the discussion that I have given to you, because this is very important. Once you understand this thing, you can attempt any question. Okay, so frequency of induced EMF in rotor is equal to P into this thing. Now frequency of induced EMF in stator. See, in the stator we are giving the supply. Okay, so that let me denote this by F2 of rotor and for rotor and F1 for your stator. So it will be given by P into NS. Okay, so because the stator field is moving with respect to stator at the speed of NS only, so that is why I am using NS here. Okay, so now you are getting the importance of that statement that I wrote on previous page. So that is the whole importance. So your F1 will be PNS by 120. Now using 1, 2. Okay, so using 1 and 2, you can easily conclude this expression as F2 is equal to SF1. F2 was the frequency for rotor, the frequency of the induced EMF in rotor, and S is the slip, and Fs is the your frequency of the induced EMF in the stator. Okay, so this is a very standard expression for any induction machine, whether it is working in motoring mode or any mode. So you just have to remember these things. Okay, so that is, see, in this whole derivation I also covered the the concept of the principle of the working of the induction motor, though I will make one video separately for the principle of induction motor. See, but you should understand that things of relative speeds. Okay, and what is the importance of that formula 120 Fs F by P. Okay, so that is why I am reiterating again and again. Okay. Okay, so this is all for this video, and thank you. Please like, share, subscribe Electrical Diaries, and have a good day.